honestly, it was a perfect thing to say. And you play it cold, but it's kinda cute. Oh, when you're smiling and you know exactly what you do. Baby, don't know what you don't know. Don't you just see it like that? In this crazy life.
Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Just letting everyone in the waiting room, but thanks for jumping in. It's a little bit chilly over here, so I don't know wherever you guys are. I'm not in summer weather, that's for sure. So, firstly, welcome to the AI Masterclass. Nice to see you all. Some faces I know, some faces I don't. So I'm looking forward to meeting you all later in the session and hearing about your businesses and all that sort of stuff, which will be very fun. But today what we're going to go through is a real overall general idea of the AI landscape and the different things that AI actually means and how it can be applied to your business. There's a lot of AI things being thrown around at the moment. It's a real buzzword when it comes to tech and business. So we're going to break that down and look at the specific parts of how you can use different parts of it and what it all actually means. So with that in mind, let's do a quick comms check. Can I get a thumbs up? Can everyone hear me okay? Probably should have checked that before I did my little intro. And can you see my screen okay, the AI Masterclass? Perfect, thumbs up, awesome. Alrighty, and hello to those who are watching on the recording later. Alrighty, I need to rearrange my screens, so bear with me one tick. Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. Sorry, I have quite a few screens going on my end, so it takes a little bit of the jigsaw puzzle to rearrange them. But anyway, here we are. Let's get into it. Okay, so before we talk about all the things AI, I'm going to give you a little intro into myself and why I'm even here talking to you about AI and probably why you should care about anything I have to say. So my background before the whole AI landscape began was nothing to do with tech world. It was a musician. I was a musician. So I was pretty much born with an instrument in my hands. I play 6 instruments. I play violin, guitar, sax, piano, drums, and I sing. And I also ran a music school for kids rock bands down in Sydney. And we had, at its peak, we had about 300 students, 10 staff, and we were across 4 different schools in Sydney. And then alongside that, I was a professional performing musician touring around different countries and Australia, playing pretty much 3-4 times a week. And the way I did my performances was I really wanted to utilize all the instruments that I played. So I looped everything, I live recorded everything, and I layered all of the instruments together to create multiple layers live right there and then. And the reason I say that is not to say, hey, I was an amazing musician. It's actually to say um, tech has always been at the forefront of everything I do. Yes, I love the creativity side, but bringing all of those different pieces of equipment with pedals and everything like that. I mean, you only had to see the look on my wife's face when a new Amazon package arrived and it was a new guitar pedal or something, and it was kind of the look of, oh, here we go, he's going to disappear for 12 hours and go nerd out on his music stuff. But like many people through COVID, I looked in the mirror and asked myself, what does life look like if I'm not a musician? I 100% thought I was just lifelong muso and that was me. And through COVID, had a little, epiphany and exploration of myself and really looked at what I like about businesses that I'd created. And I loved the tech side of things. I love automation. I love website design. I love building websites. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to go and study coding. I'm going to go and study and be a software engineer. A phrase that I never in a million years would have thought I'd ever freaking say, and those words will leave my mouth, but here they are, they have. And lo and behold, that is now what I am, a software engineer. And I'm just going to bring someone else into the room as well. So yes, I studied coding. I learned how to build websites from scratch, not just WordPress, but actually from code up and software and all that sort of stuff. And the same time that I was learning that, this new worldly thing came out called ChatGPT. And it was the craze. Everyone was kind of talking about it, but everyone kind of thought, well, it's just a little bit of a fancy Google. I started looking into it pretty quickly and very quickly found that it is a lot more than a fancy Google, but there's a real art in learning how to speak with it and get what you want from it. My particular circumstance meant I needed to get it working for me, and the reason I say that is because my instructor, when I was learning coding and software engineering, how do I put this nicely? He was a very good engineer and not such a great teacher. And that world in general moves fast and it's crazy, and it was a whole new world for me. So I needed help. And I just basically learned very fast how to get the best out of ChatGPT to teach me how to code, how to be a software engineer. And that brings me to today. That was the beginning of my new obsession, just coding. So much so that I remember one night I went to sat down and famous last words as a developer, I'm just going to fix a little bug. And I remember sitting down about 8 p.m. and I kid you not, the next time I looked at my clock, it was 5 a.m. And I think it was at that point that my wife realized she has now a crazy computer scientist as a husband and not some flying cool around musician. So sorry to her. And that brings me to what I've done. I thought I would just be doing web development, as in websites, and through my whole exploration with ChatGPT and AI, I decided to build a platform called Sloan, which you may have heard about through our Instagram, or maybe some friends have told you about it, but that is what I've done. And through that, obviously learning the whole AI landscape. So we're going to learn a little bit about Sloan later, but I just wanted to tell you why I wanted to build it. And the reason I wanted to do it is I basically thought about all the things in my previous businesses that I did and that I didn't know how to do and that I needed to do. And I took all those pain points and basically put it into Sloan and said, okay, well, if I went to do this again, what's a powerhouse kind of tool that I can have that allows me to stay in my zone of genius? You know, I was a musician. I knew how to teach. I didn't know marketing. I didn't know email marketing. I didn't know social media marketing. I didn't know finance. I still don't know finance. But I needed some help, and I felt like, well, surely I'm not the only business person out there that doesn't know everything about running a business. So, which you'll see later, that's what Sloan is. It is just that kind of Swiss Army knife for business owners to have in your back pocket whenever you need it. So that's kind of the background of me and why I've got some things to tell you about AI from my last basically 2 years of nerding out in the whole AI world. That's my background. Today, this is what I'm about. Beyond my dog and my wife, my other 3 obsessions are I'm a massive coffee snob. I'm a desperate Man United supporter, so much so that I pretty much have to watch every game at 2 a.m. live. And while I will never surf waves that big, I am a pretty obsessed surfer as well out in the water when I'm not being a little computer nerd. So that's me, but let's move on. Before we get into things, a little bit of housekeeping, which you're all doing anyway. I was going to say, can we keep everyone on mute just so that we've got a really nice, smooth transition for audio for those who are watching. So you're already doing that, so thank you. And we're going to use the chat for questions, and we're going to get quite chatty in just a minute. I'll be keeping an eye on the questions part throughout the thing, so we'll be going out through that. And yes, I think that's all. What I would love for you to do right now, before we do anything, is in the chat, can you drop in your Instagram handles? Because I'd love to follow your businesses, follow you if I'm not already, and just follow your journey through business, and if you end up doing anything with AI. So there may also be a chance for everyone else to connect if they want to as well. So drop that into the chat now. And I'm going to move my chat so I can see it. Cool, cool, cool. Beautiful. Okay. Now, while we're feeling chatty with our fingers, as odd as that is to say, let's talk just generally about AI. How do you feel about AI? Put into the chat a word, a sentence, a phrase that comes to mind when you think of AI. Is it cool, fun, exciting, scary, don't know, confused? Let me know a couple of words that come to mind. We've got exciting, cool, I love that. intriguing and overwhelming. Yeah, fair call. I get that. Okay, unfamiliar, potential opportunity, overwhelming. Cool, awesome. Alrighty, so very quickly, we're already seeing that it feels like people can see the potential. You've heard about the potential, but it is a very new space. And yes, it can be overwhelming and it can be confusing. It doesn't help that you've got new AI things shooting up every single day. So it's like, how do we unpack all that? Well, that's what we're going to do. So moving on. What some of the things or some of the main things that I've seen with clients that I've worked with in just in general with businesses is we're all having, and I'm a business owner clearly as well, right? We all seem to have pretty much the same kind of bucket full of pain points. And they are that we're often time poor, we need help with marketing and content creation, help scaling the business. Some people are really struggling with training, onboarding, and how to find the right people and what to do when you have the right people. Daily admin and ideation, having someone or something that can brainstorm with you. So these are the most common things. I definitely feel them. I'm pretty sure from some of the things in your chat, you might be feeling the same thing as well. But the good thing is once we see what sort of AI tools we can use and bring to the party, then we're going to get some really cool benefits of it. So we're going to start saving some time, get more time back for either growth or just personal life. Put that back into things you like doing. It's definitely cost efficient, so you can reduce the need for having to outsource, whether it's a VA or whatever, social media managers, marketing. You have the ability now to do things yourself without A, having to spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours learning, and B, spending honestly like tens of thousands of dollars per year on whatever thing that you're looking for. 100% we're going to get improved productivity. You're going to streamline your processes, and it's just going to be fast. I'm not even going to say faster. I'm just going to say fast because it's kind of nuts how quickly all this stuff happens. And then we're all left with a big fat smiley face. So we get that emotional benefit. We're getting less stress and we're increasing the ease of operations. So there are the benefits. And before I show you what they actually are, I want to tell you a quick little story about Dante. So Dante, I had a chat with her towards the end of last year, and it was not to do with AI, it was to do with her website and just her coaching business in general. As the conversation progressed, a lot of things were coming up, and I just kept saying to her, I'm like, are you using AI for this? Are you using AI? Using AI? And her initial response was, absolutely not. I don't trust it. I don't like how it sounds. I really like writing, and I'm really particular with my brand language. So no, I'm never going to use AI because it does work. And clearly, I was somewhat skeptical, but obviously, I respected her response, and I just said to her, "Look, it generally, if you don't know how to use it, yes, you are correct. But once you know how to kind of unlock it, it is pretty powerful. But we'll leave it at that." Anyway, a couple of months later, she came back to me and she was like, "Okay, I'm ready. I've seen people using it. I want to know what it's about. Show me." So I showed her how to use it within her business. And within, I think it was about 2 months, I got a message from her and it was, holy insert word. And she said, I've literally created 3 offers in 1 week and I've added 80K revenue, passive income to my business. And not only that, she consolidated, she had 4 VAs offshore and she brought that down to 1. And she just basically started spending more time doing what she wanted to do outside of her business. The word that, or the phrase that really struck with me is, she said, it's actually given me what I've always wanted in business, and it's another version of me, but a better version. So I like to use Dante as an example because she was not a tech person. She was someone who is really, really clear and strong on her brand voice, and she was so against AI. And now she's like, I use AI not just every day, but like multiple hours in the day. So thought I'd share that little story of showing the resistance of someone that has, and now what it can do for your business as well. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty. Okie dokie. So what I'm going to do is we're going to break AI up into 6 pillars. So the 6 pillars are AI integration, automation, chatbots, image generation, AI platforms, and AI assistants. And I'm going to break all these down so that now when you think AI, it's not just this umbrella of scary, overwhelming potential excitement. We can now go, okay, well, what part of the AI landscape do we want to use? I like to think of it basically like automobiles. Two things. When you were back in the, well, you weren't, when people were back in the late 1800s, 1900s, living off the land in a little village, horse and cart, and suddenly the oil baron comes to town in this fancy new thing with 4 wheels and an engine, looking nice and shiny, and everyone's looking at it going, wow, that's crazy, but whatever, I still have my horse and cart. Eventually, everyone gets on board and they buy a car. Why? Because it's faster and it's more efficient. But within the car industry, there are so many different cars. We've got utes, we've got trucks, we've got sports cars, then all the brands. So that's kind of how I look at AI. You know, it's this real overarching thing, but which one is right for you? So that's what these are. Okay, so we're going to start first and foremost with AI integration. And I think it's really beneficial here to see who's adapting AI or adopting AI into their businesses, because we're getting some really, really big players and they're all jumping on board and integrating AI features throughout their products. And the one that jumps straight to mind is literally the most successful company ever on the planet, and that's Apple. Not only do they have AI, I mean, they've had Siri. This is the thing, AI, quick side note, AI has been around for ages. Google Maps, Siri, autocorrect with your text and stuff like that. We've all been using AI for years and years and years. It's just we've never really dubbed it as AI. Now we're moving forward and it's AI. So Apple have gone one step further. On Tuesday, they announced and released their latest iPhone, the iPhone 16. Not only does it have Siri enhancements, they've gone straight back to the drawing board and they've redesigned the whole iPhone from AI up. So what that means is they've gone, rather than having a little feature of Siri that can just kind of plug in here, they've gone, AI is under the whole thing. It is the pillar, it is the foundation of the iPhone, and everything is built on top of that. So for Apple to have such a bold, big move in the AI space, to me just goes, well, duh, like if they're doing it, we need to do it. They're only going to do it because it's great. So that to me is just the biggest thing. If we look at other companies like Adobe with Photoshop and Canva as well, they're also integrating AI in their own ways, and they're really, really effective. So the one I'm going to show you right now is Canva and what you can do with Canva AI. Now, disclaimer, this video would go on so long, this masterclass would go on so long if I actually showed you how to do everything. But what I am going to do, I'm going to show you the results, and then after this, I've pre-recorded a whole bunch of training videos on how to do these things that we're about to talk about. So you're going to get how to do that afterwards. But for now, I thought I'd just show you the end results. So with Canva, literally in the space of 90 seconds, I created these 50 reels. And what they are for me, they're motivational quotes and little tips for business owners. Obviously, I'm talking from my business point of view, being Sloan, helping businesses. So a lot of my stuff is going to be, you know, stuff to help businesses no matter what business you are. So for me, motivational quotes, we all see it on everyone's Instagram, you know, quotes put on top of a pretty picture and it's posted. However, to do 50 of them is going to take some time. So within Canva, using Sloan and Canva together, I created 50. I could have done 200. I honestly couldn't be bothered waiting for the AI to give me the 200 responses. But you can do it literally in that. So now what you can have is, let's say you have Motivational Monday. So now for the next 50 Mondays, so 52 weeks in a year, I have a year's worth of Monday posts, all done within 90 seconds. That's just one little element of Canva AI. Just to give you a quick rundown again, this is all of them. Obviously not going to read them, but just to show you how many there are. I've done this with 200, I've done it with 400. There's no limit, it's pretty crazy. So that's the first one. You're going to get a link to that one as well. And now we're going to look at a little more in depth into what you can do inside Canva with their AI tool, which is what they call Magic Studio. So they don't even want to put AI in front of it, but that's exactly what it is. So in Magic Studio, you have a lot of options for creativity. Now, what I want to show you here is I want you to concentrate on two images. This one here to the top left, and then this one here, semi top right. Now, what I did using Canva's AI is, first of all, I extended the image. So I said, this image isn't wide enough, make it wider for me. And a use case for this would be if you're working on your website and we've got maybe a portrait photo or something not wide enough and we want that big, beautiful hero banner, then you can use AI to take that image and extend it and make it big so that it doesn't zoom in and you haven't lost any part of your image. So that's why you would potentially use something like this. So that's what I've done. I've extended it out here. You can see up in the top corner here, we've got something of a little beginnings of a logo. We don't know what it is. It wasn't in the image, but Canva have gone, hey, well, I'll just make it up. And it's extended the wall. So that's the first thing. The second thing we've done is using another thing in Canva called Magic Grab, which you can isolate objects within the image. So I actually isolated this guy, and as you can see, I've moved him further away to balance out the image. In the meantime, what the AI has done in the background is added more notes and just balanced him out a little bit more. The cool thing with that is we've now been able to isolate that part of an image. And as you can see here, I've taken him out of the image completely and just put him on the canvas. So we now have the ability to extract parts of images and layer things up. So if you love an image but you hate the background, you can just take that part. Or even I've done it with like a table setting. You can take a knife and fork and put it over here. This one's a good example. This is the original image. And what we've done here is I isolated the shoes. And as you can see here, I've rearranged the shoes so it looks like they're a bit more messy. Or I've just taken the shoes completely out, including the shoelace, and I've just isolated them and we've been able to put that. So that's how Canva are using AI. Again, these sorts of demos, I'm going to email to you how to do it. It's super easy, really, really quick. And it just gives you another level of creativity with your images. So that's how the big wigs, the big companies are bringing AI into their businesses. Alrighty, moving on to our next pillar, automation. This one, I mean, I love them all, but this one's a game changer. So automation, it's exactly what it says. It's automating tasks. So if you have a whole bunch of admin things that you have to do for whatever particular reason, let's say you sign up a client and that client, you need to add the details to a Google spreadsheet and then a Calendly link and then an email database and then do this and then do that and do that. And you're just sitting there getting the same name, same email and putting it here, putting it there, putting it everywhere. Automation can do that for you without you having to do a single thing. There are two companies that do it. I'm only going to show you one, basically because the second company is super expensive. You may have heard something called Zapier or Zapier, however you pronounce it. And the other one is make.com. So these are technically, they say they're no code. They are somewhat complicated, but there's plenty of people out in the industry, especially within make.com, you can hire experts to build out your automation and it's completely custom to you and what you actually need. So this gives you a little diagram of what happens. You have a trigger and then depending on what you want to do, you can send whatever information you need to do. So I had this built out in my previous music school. We had 300 clients, but we had quite a complex, I guess, setup where we did kids rock bands, but we did one-on-one instruments as well. But we also operated out of primary schools. The reason I say that is because we had the same piece of data having to go lots of different places. So depending on the school, we would have to email the school teacher, we would have to email the admin staff, we'd have to email the principal with the student class, then we have to do the teacher, and then we have to do this, and it just went nuts. I had 3 admin team who were also music teachers handling the whole school of just doing that. Then I built out the automation. Suddenly seriously, I didn't need any one of those admin people. We put them straight on to full-time teaching, and every time someone filled in a form, my automation literally looked like a spider web, and you could watch the data just go everywhere. It saved so much time and so much money. You've actually experienced the other end of this without you even knowing, and it was called this masterclass. So this is a very basic, very simple automation that I set up for this masterclass. So you filled in a form on my website to enter into the masterclass. Straight away, as soon as you hit submit, all of your information added to a Google spreadsheet for me. Then you were added into my Flowdesk as a subscriber, but then we searched my Flowdesk to find the specific AI Masterclass channel, and you were added to that. And at the same time, I then had it search my whole Google Calendar for an event called the AI Masterclass, and once it found it, it then added your details to the AI Masterclass, which is obviously how you got here today with the link. So that's a really, really straightforward use case of how you use automation. Automation is awesome. It saves you time. It's for all those admin tasks that you just routinely do, and to be honest, probably get shits with. So that's automation. Moving on. This is my equal third favorite. Alrighty, chatbots. Chatbots have a bit of a stigma about them. I think they've got a little bit of people go, oh, it's just a chatbot, or another bloody chatbot. Yes and no, they can get overused, but they're super powerful. You've probably seen a bunch of them, whether or not you've actually integrated with them. You've probably seen people have them in the background of Instagram posts. So if you see a post, and you might be aware of them from here onwards, where it says comment X and receive my full rundown strategy on how to do this, or comment sign me up to get this or get that. They are chatbots that people have built into the back of their Instagram. They're super easy to set up. There's platforms that do it. There's no code or anything like that. And they basically are literally just looking for that word or that letter X. And based on what the user, the owner has said, do this every time you get an X. So it might be, answer this question, send this email, stuff like that. Where I think chatbots are huge if they're done correctly is they can act as sales agents for you 24/7 on your website. And I'm going to give you an example. So this website here, this is called Tapped. Tapped is one of those new digital business cards that's floating around the scene. I, being a tech nerd, just thought I should have a digital business card. It just seemed like a good fit. Haven't used it yet, but that's beside the point. And anyway, I was looking through it and I had a look at a whole bunch of providers. And the reason I specifically went with this company, Tapped, 100% is because of their chatbot. So I had questions about how it works. I had questions about the cost. I had questions about the setup, and I wanted to know basically everything to do it. This day and age, we don't have long attention spans, and I wanted it right now. I went with them because I got every single answer that I needed from the chatbot. Furthermore, I had a little bit of an issue signing up. Once I got the product, I came back onto the chatbot, said what my problem is, and it solved it right there and then. So the point here is they got a sale, but they also had customer relations with me fixing my problem without having anyone come on board, have to call me, have to email me, or anything like that. I'm a couple of days away from releasing my chatbot for our website, which I'm super excited because Sloan and being AI, people have a lot of questions. So now it's the perfect combination of being able to bring your FAQs straight to the front page with a little pop-up. So it's, encouraging people to chat, but it's also ready to answer those questions. And once those questions are answered, the way I've trained it so far is they're going to have two options. They can sign up to Sloan right there and then once they've answered their questions, or if they're not quite convinced, then it moves on to a second flow where they can receive an email with a behind the scenes tour of Sloan and see how it works. So very soon, hopefully by next week, I'm basically going to have a 24/7 sales agent sitting on my website. So I think this is incredibly powerful for businesses. It's not a lot to set up. It's more just thinking about the mapping through, okay, what are the answers What are the questions that my customers will be asking, and what answers will they need? The very cool thing about this as well is all the platforms provide you with a dashboard to the chat. So even though you weren't chatting with them, you can log into it and go and see all the chats. And you may find that people are asking a question that you haven't provided the answer for, or that the chat hasn't answered, but it's a common question. So it's giving you the ability to analyze data at the same time and really go, okay, well, what are my users wanting? What are they seeing? What are they asking? I can assess that right there and then. If they're dropping off when we say what the price is, well, maybe that means that we need to analyze our price. You know, you can really get into the pinpoint of where are they dropping off or what's been successful, and then adapt if we need to. So that's the chatbots. Big fan girl over here. I'm really excited, and I think most businesses, well, all businesses, should definitely have one because it's a game changer. So that is the third pillar. We are going to move on to the fourth pillar. All right, image generation, creating visuals with zero technical skills, and I'm going to add something else in there, without a camera. All righty. This is a little bit of freaky deaky world sometimes, but it's growing. It's definitely growing. The two biggest players in this area are something called Midjourney and Adobe Firefly. So Adobe Firefly is, we've all heard of Photoshop. It's Adobe's new kind of specifically standalone AI image generator. Midjourney is a very good image generator, but it's pretty nerdy and pretty techy to operate. However, the results are pretty good. Again, with both of these, I'm going to send you a video on how you can actually do it. But let's actually have a look at some of the images that it's created. So these ones on the left, I have created in Adobe Firefly, and these ones on the right, I have created inside Midjourney. Now, I guess a couple of disclaimers here. Well, not disclaimers. Let's just like analyze them exactly for what they are. I think they're pretty good as far as it goes for creating an image. Would I post one of these images on my Instagram feed? Probably not. In fact, definitely not. Unless my brand was a little bit more leaning towards the tech side. Now, I know that sounds a bit funny given that I'm a software engineer, I have an AI business. However, my number one thing is humanizing AI. So I'm never really going to use AI images on my Instagram page. It's always going to be real humans doing real things. Having said that, I have used these before, and where I like to use them is in blog posts. The reason for that is the blog post is not so much about the image, it's about the message that I'm trying to convey. So for instance, the message here was all about working abroad and having that digital nomad life. So I wanted, you know, Bali kind of cafe, Santorini kind of working from there. Basically all the places that just made me jealous when I was looking and sitting in my own home office and not there working myself. And for this one, it was, I wanted to show a guy that's just completely swamped under to-do tasks and everything like that. I can't remember why I used this one, but it's there. And these ones were just profile pictures. So the capability's there. The quality is pretty high. I mean, when you consider the fact that this is an image generated from words, I think that's pretty insane. However, I do feel like it stops to the point of going, there's just something about this that feels a little bit computer game, albeit the graphics are very good, it still just has that little bit of a vibe for me. Super subjective, super up to you, take it as you will. But the ability is there if you're happy with that sort of thing. Where it can be used is graphics. You know, if you want flat lay of, say, a coffee table and stuff like that, that could probably work. If you wanted some more images in the backgrounds of things, that could work. But again, I come back to, well, there's so many stock images, especially inside the Canva library. I would go to there first. So it's just really analyzing what's right for your business and if you need them. But the ability is at this sort of level if you're happy with that. So that's the image generation. You can do it inside ChatGPT. I didn't add it in here basically because I think it's pretty shit. Um, calling a spade a spade. Yeah, it's got nowhere near the ability of Midjourney or Adobe Firefly, so I've kind of left it out. I just wanted to bring the ones that are really doing it well. ChatGPT does stuff well, and it's just not images, in my opinion. Okay, with that in mind, let's talk about AI platforms. I think this is probably the one that has people kind of going, oh, yeah, I use this, but don't really know the other ones around to use or why I would use the other ones. And there's a few big players in the market. Um, so let's basically understand what they do. So the big players in the market are ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Claude, Anthropic, and the massive player is Sloan. Like we're right behind ChatGPT, I wish. But maybe one day. So why would you use one over the other? Honestly, it comes down to personal preference and what sort of systems you have around your work environment. I guess the number one thing to kind of think about is the thing that kickstarted this whole ecosystem, this whole discussion, everything like that, is ChatGPT. ChatGPT has started, and is leading the whole AI platform landscape. Um, and one of the main reasons for that is A, it was first, and B, it's not tied to anything. And I'll explain what I mean by that shortly when we talk about Copilot and Gemini. So ChatGPT is just standalone on its own, the leader, and that's it. There are some extra things you can do in ChatGPT, like the GPT store, similar to like the App Store, where you can go and find different AI things doing stuff. To be honest, I don't play a lot in that zone. I only use ChatGPT specifically for code, for coding and whatnot. But if I'm doing any sort of content generation, scripts, social media posts, emails, I'm all about Sloan, which obviously I'll show you why. Not biased, but just it's better. But we'll get to that. Copilot is Microsoft's AI platform. The reason you would use Copilot is pretty much just in Microsoft's ecosystem. So Microsoft have a real monopoly over the office space, the corporate landscape. Most offices, especially if they're not in the creative zone, are all on Dell computers, Microsoft Office, all that sort of stuff. We're talking Microsoft 365, Outlook, Microsoft Word, Excel, all those original things. And Copilot they've built to integrate with that. So you generally find most office spaces, if they're using AI, they're using it through that. Gemini is the equal kind of thing on the Google side of things. So if you're in the Google ecosystem, then Gemini might be the one for you. That's pretty much the difference. The main actual difference between the three of them and why ChatGPT is kind of leading is what it's trained on. Without getting too techie, the way it's trained is called tokens, which is basically think of it as how many words it gets trained on. Copilot and Gemini have been trained on billions of tokens, that's with a B. ChatGPT has been trained on trillion with a T of tokens. So it's just more widely used. I think some people like the idea of Gemini because the one thing that Gemini does have over ChatGPT is that it is linked to Google. So every time you're speaking with the AI, it has the ability to be searching like you would search Google at the same time. One development that is coming out soon is there is going to be a ChatGPT search engine. So it'll be interesting to see that space. But at the risk of getting too techie, let's just leave that part there. Okay, Claude and Anthropic. Basically, these two are heavily invested by Amazon, who didn't want to miss out on the AI party. Anthropic is very much centered around security. And a quick little bit of goss behind the business of it. Anthropic is created by siblings who actually started ChatGPT, but they didn't like how free ChatGPT was going with lack of security around what an AI can do. So they started Anthropic and put some pretty heavy measures around what the AI is allowed to give you and tell you and all that sort of stuff. And then Claude is basically the creative sister of Anthropic. Anthropic is very dry, very safe, and Claude is just the same kind of thing, but a little bit more creative. They've tried to make it sound a little bit more human-like. Now we have Sloane. Sloane is built using ChatGPT and Gemini. So we have both those AI platforms underneath as the engine. The main difference between Sloane, which I'm going to show you shortly, is, sorry, hold on, excuse me. The main difference between Sloane and all the other things is the way that we set up a business. So a business comes in, and if you want to use ChatGPT or any one of these things, you sign up and you just start using it. There are some pretty basic forms that you can add in what your business does or whatnot, and sure, that's going to be pretty short. With Sloane, what we do is we interview business owners for 6 minutes, and it's with an actual person. It's not an AI. We've had people say, oh, you should put this into a form. No, it's with a person so that we can have a proper conversation, learn about your business, because we don't know what conversations go from, well, have you thought about this, and do you do this, and all that sort of stuff. With that 60-minute, where did that go? With that 60-minute conversation, we use that to train Sloane on your business. So now whenever you're doing stuff inside Sloane, two things are happening. A, you never have to tell it once about your brand language, once about your business, what you do or anything. It knows it straight away from the minute that you've logged in. And two, you don't have to learn how to use the AI. That's one huge thing that all of these have to do, and what I was discovering when I first used AI is, and I'm sure if you've used it before, I'm sure you've experienced this as well. There is a real art to speaking with AI and getting the responses that you want to the point where you don't have to edit it. But there is quite a scale in difference between someone who just talks to it straight away and someone who is really knowing how to speak with it. For instance, to give you an example, when I use ChatGPT for code, I probably give it oftentimes up to 2 pages worth of information, specifically just for a code. Now, with a business, what we do in Sloan is we probably give it about 8 pages worth of information on your business. So that's why it knows everything about you to the point where it's consistent every single time and you're not editing it at all. You're coming back and you're going, yes, that sounds like me. And if it does need to change, if your business evolves, then we change your business model. So that's the two biggest things. It is built on ChatGPT and Gemini with that added bonus of it basically has that extra human element in the middle so that it gives you the responses. So that's a bit of an overall of the platforms out there. And now what we're going to talk about is AI assistants. So you may have heard people say they've built a GPT or they want an AI assistant or whatnot. What that means is basically it's just a specific kind of AI tasked for a specific task, if that makes sense. So where that works is two examples. First on the right here is something called Imogen. Imogen is an AI assistant for photographers. So what photographers can do here, and especially like big event photographers, like wedding photographers, you can upload your entire SIM card basically from the event that you photographed. So you might have like 3,000 or 4,000 photos. It will go through every single photo. It will select the photos. It will edit them. It will give a color grade, and it will come back to you ready to then give to your client. So that's a huge AI assistant for photographers. Now, inside Sloan, our AI assistants, we call them hubs. So when you go into ChatGPT or Gemini or any of them, you're basically just brought into a chat, and it's up to you to go, okay, well, this is everything about me and my business and my brand language, and now I need you to be this assistant. So it's reliant on you, A, being consistent and saying the same thing every single time, making sure you give all the appropriate information, and B, it's reliant on you actually giving the information every single time. And C, it's reliant on you knowing the language, not your language, but knowing how to speak with the AI to get the right results. So with Sloan, we have these hubs or assistants, and each one is for a business task. So we have specific ones here for marketing, but then we have social media, blog posts, email marketing, finance. You can see it goes on and on. So these are highly trained assistants, and to be honest, I think of them as people. I think of them as people, and the way they've been trained is exactly like you would with a job description. So if you were hiring someone on Seek or Indeed or something like that, and you put a really long job description, but then go one step further and let's say you've hired that person and now you're going to give them their KPIs and what's expected of them, how they're supposed to do their job, all of that happens behind every one of these assistants. So now it's not just simply you're a blog post specialist or you're a social media specialist. It's 2 pages of something that we would hire, something we will give someone to hire out there so that it's doing your job. Pair that with the whole platform knowing your business, then you've got two juggernauts coming together, making sure that the content that it creates for you is really, really good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a 2-minute water break and go to the toilet, go stretch your legs, and then I'm actually going to go in and give you a demo of Sloan and how it works. And obviously then we'll open up the floor, any questions, and let's talk AI in general. It doesn't have to be just Sloan or anything, whatever. We'll open up the floor, hear what you're needing or what you're wanting to know and how it can work for your business. So what do we got? Let's go 3 minutes. Let's go 5 minutes. In 11:55. So come back then and we'll go through a demo. All right, see you soon.
It's closer to midnight. Still we're talking just us two, surrounded by the stars. Oh, they're shining just for you. It's getting colder, baby. Let me keep you warm all night. Tell me what you want to do. 'Cause baby, I am all for you. Please don't you go. I'll be alone. Wait until the morning. I'll hold you close. Please don't you go. I'll be alone. Wait until the morning. Right until it's dawning. The way you look tonight, girl, it's way too unbelievable. I know I'm the lucky one.
Alrighty, we'll just give it a minute or two for everyone to jump back on board. Keep some crazy background music, why not?
Wonder what I've done to deserve you. Please don't you go.
Alrighty, let's jump back in. Okay, so before we jump into a demo of Sloan, I'd love to know in the chat who's using AI at the moment and what are you using? So, do you have a chatbot? Do you have ChatGPT? Are you not even using AI? Let me know. Drop it into the chat window, and I'd love to see what's happening. Okay, cool. Elise, you got ChatGPT. ChatGPT, Megs, cool. Canva and Sloan, cool. Sweet, and I think everyone. ChatGPT, okay, cool. Thanks, babe. Cool, cool, cool. Alrighty. So it seemed, yeah, like ChatGPT is definitely the leader out there of all the other platforms. Scheduling posts with AI through a tool called Swipe AI. Oh, cool, nice, like it. You've gone one level up. Very fun. Okay, so let's look at Sloan and how it actually works. So before we do that, let's understand what Sloan actually is. So Sloan, we've spoken about AI platforms and we've spoken about AI assistants. Sloan is a combo of both of them, but it's highly personalized for you and your business. So as we spoke about before, I created Sloan for two reasons. So many of those platforms, they just don't sound like you. They say it's personalized, they say it's humanized and everything like that, but they don't. I'm pretty sure if I asked you, you don't have to do it now, but I'm pretty sure if I asked you how many times you edit the responses from ChatGPT, I would hazard a guess and say it's almost on a 100% basis. That's not to say the ideas aren't good. The AI ChatGPT ID generation is great. So it's a real trigger for going, okay, cool, what can I do here? What should I do next? But to be able to copy and paste directly the response, I don't think it's there. So that's where Sloan comes in and why we added that extra level of humanized interaction to learn businesses so that A, you don't have to learn how to use AI to get the responses you want, and B, you don't have to keep editing every single time. So you can now just stay in your zone of genius. And then secondly, I wanted to give business owners the ability and the confidence to handle business tasks that, as I said previously, that are outside your zone of genius. I never knew email marketing. I avoided it like the plague. I never did a blog post. I thought it was for the, American kitchen mum doing her new recipe. And not only do I do them now, I'm kind of obsessed. And I really, really like doing them because you can see the power of it. Email marketing, when you're not spending weeks and days writing your emails and campaigns and everything like that, when you can create a whole email campaign, I'm talking 7 emails, 10 emails, however long, literally in 90 seconds, and have the ability to go, okay, well, let's try this. When people say email marketing doesn't work, with all due respect to them, it does. It's the most #1 marketing tool out there. It just hasn't worked for you because your messaging isn't quite there. However, I get the frustration because the amount of effort it takes to create those email chains is so long. But when you can do it literally in 5 minutes on a Monday morning and create 5 different funnels, and I don't mean 5 emails, I mean 5 funnels of like 7 emails, you have the ability to test that one and go, no, that didn't work. Okay, let's go. Next one, did that work? Cool. Okay, we maybe got 2, 3 more sales or clients or interactions. And this one worked. So you've got the ability to test and see what's actually working and tweak it without it being such a slug of a thing that you have to spend hours and hours of doing and basically then end up avoiding it and not doing it at all. So that's kind of the whole main reason why I created it. And then the main difference with Sloan is, as we said before, are the hubs. So without talking about it anymore, let's just see the damn thing. All right. So this is Sloan. The only way you know Sloan at the beginning without talking about it is tailored to you is literally up the top here where it says your name. So hi Tobes. So it knows underneath, which we're going to check in a minute, it knows my business. And the way we're going to check that right now is going through to a new chat. Can I just double check? I don't think I stopped sharing. Can everyone see my screen? Thumbs up. Okay, perfect. Probably should have checked that first, but anyway. Alrighty. So now inside Sloan, the first thing I'm going to do is just proof in the pudding. I'm going to see if it knows my business. So please give me a detailed description of my business. Now, while it comes back here, a little fun fact, we decided to go with green, not because it jumps out and is, attractive. Green is actually scientifically the easiest color for your eye to read. So when you look at green, your eye relaxes. Even when you go to white or black, your pupils actually start to change and it becomes harder for your eye. So aesthetically, green is the easiest, and that's exactly why we went. The whole idea is Sloan makes business easy, and that comes in all matters. So it's even, make your eyes easy. Okay, so fun fact about that. Moving on with Sloan. So as we can see here, it's going through telling me all the hubs that we've created, who it's for, how it gets set up, why to choose Sloan, some testimonials and all that. That's not what I gave it. That's its summary of the whole interview process that I interviewed myself on, as weird as that sounds. The reason I say that is it's not simply just reading a form that we've filled out. It's Sloan's understanding, and this description while it's always in my language, is different every single time it comes back within, within reason. Exactly like we are as humans, when we're describing our business, unless we're, absolute to the T, we sometimes say it a different way, and Sloan does the same thing. Alrighty, so we know it's tailored to us. Now, what I'm going to teach or show you that I teach a lot of my clients is something called the content waterfall. And the content waterfall is where we take one piece of content and we trickle it across multiple platforms. Now, before this, and the reason why I used to avoid email marketing, and to be honest, a lot of my clients do have done this previously before signing up to Sloan, is we think of all these areas where we need to do our marketing and show up and show our business. And the way we do that is through Instagram posts and Facebook posts and email marketing and SEO and LinkedIn if you're on LinkedIn. And very quickly, we have 5 channels of content that we have to create. And we, to be honest, most of us just go, stuff that, that's way too much. I'll just do one and I'll do Instagram. There's one big problem with that. And even if it was just, it's not Instagram, even if it was just email marketing or blog posts, the main problem there is we're relying on that one platform. We're putting all our eggs in the one basket to make sure that that platform shows everything about our business. The other thing is we don't own Instagram. We're basically renting space. Sure, it's pretty much, a given that Instagram's always going to be there, but there are further things that affect us in terms of the algorithm. How many times has the algorithm changed with Instagram where Reels were this fancy new thing and now it's all about Reels? We have to adapt with Instagram. We have no control. With email marketing, we have control. With our blog post, we have control. We have the ability to take our business and put it on the doorstep of our customer. With Instagram, we're essentially putting our shop on the side of the road and hoping someone comes past it at the right time to see it. We have no control of trying to go directly to that person. However, it is a very good tool, so we want to use it. We just want to use it with all the other ones as well. So that's why we want to do the content waterfall. So what we do here is you're literally about to see proof in the pudding, not with Sloan, but literally what just happened with Apple. Apple just released the iPhone 16. At the same event, which nerds like me got up at 2 a.m. to watch, guilty, they also released new new AirPods Max, the headphones, new AirPods Pro, new AirPods 4, a new Apple Watch, different watches, multiple phones. I think later in the year or early in the year, they did a laptop, all this stuff. The point here is there's a lot of freaking products that they're advertising. Are we going to go out and see on the back of the bus stop a laptop, or at McDonald's the iPhone, or at the cinemas an ad for the Apple Watch, or on the side advertising billboard a MacBook Pro? No. We are only going to see the iPhone. So no matter what platform, wherever we are, whatever store we're in, whatever website we're on or TV we're watching, we are only going to see the iPhone because it's their number one thing. But also, it's so that we don't get confused. We know Apple does all of those things. But if we saw iPhone there and then, oh, I want that. Oh, I'd love a watch. I'd love a MacBook Pro. Love an iPad too. Oh, some headphones. Straight away, we've gone cost. Confused. I'm not going to do anything. But if I see the iPhone and go, oh yeah, that's cool. iPhone, yeah, my iPhone's kind of shit. iPhone, yeah, probably need one. iPhone, well, John next door got one, I want one. iPhone, we're getting that same message every single time to the point where we go, I want a freaking iPhone. My point here is when we create one piece of content and use it across multiple places, we are doing that same strategy. It's just different bite sizes of that content. So what we're going to do now is do the content waterfall, and we're going to start with a blog post. Now, can I get a thumbs up? Does anyone post blogs? Yes, semi, cool. Okay. This is your invitation / kick up the bum to start posting some blogs, gently. The reason is it's such a game changer for so many reasons. When you follow this strategy, everything comes from here, but also it increases SEO, so people are coming to your website Second of all, it gives people to go to your website. So the first one, people are just finding you on Google, and that's what SEO is. The second one is if you post something on Instagram about your blog post, people are going to go to your website and read the blog post for whatever reason. The third thing is it's building trust. You're writing a very long thing, maybe 500 words, maybe not that long, but you're writing a long piece of content of something that you're an expert in. So you're building trust. People go, oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that. Or yeah, I agree with that. Wow, this person is now that much higher on the pedestal in their mind, and you've gotten those extra bounty points of being an expert. So the more you do that, the higher you get in their minds of becoming an expert, so that when you do want to sell something or have them sign up to something, they already trust you. You're not coming from the ground up and going, hey, buy this. I'm like, well, who the hell are you? So the blog post is a really good way of building trust with your audience. Then what we're going to do from that blog post, we're going to take the ideas to then give us our Instagram posts, to then give us our email marketing, LinkedIn if you want to do it. So now we've got this engine all working together with the one topic. So people aren't getting confused. It's just they're reading different lengths or different parts of that main content. I'm talking a lot. Let's actually put it into demonstration. So when you're in Sloan and you come into one of the hubs, the first thing you can do is obviously start a new chat, and you can just start chatting straight away, or you can come and see the quick prompts. So the quick prompts are different in obviously every hub depending on what the hub is about. So for this one, I'm just going to go 10 blog post topics. And then obviously Sloan is tailored to me for Sloan. So the content that I'm getting is obviously for me. So let's have a little look at a couple of them. The ultimate guide to using AI for solopreneurs, transform your workday, a day in the life of Sloan, the art of authentic client communication using Sloan. Okay, two things. First of all, A, I like all the topics. B, this is how I would write. You might only just know me now, so you have to take my word for it. But this is how I would write. Second of all, I do this demo multiple times a week. Sometimes I see some similar ideas, but it's not like it's just regurgitating the same ideas. Again, it comes back to us being humans. We have new ideas all the time. So unlocking creativity, how AI can be your best brainstorming partner. I've never seen that before. I like it, so let's go with it. So what I'm going to say is, I like number 5. Please create this in 500 words. And then we're going to get our beautiful blog post ready for us to drop into Canva to design it, or just go straight onto your website and post it there. Coming back to the content waterfall, what we want to do now is we have our hierarchy piece of content. We're going to copy it, and now we're going to follow this. This is the quick links. Sloan recognizes that we're doing the content waterfall. So built in behind the AI engine, it's saying, okay, cool. Here's your first piece of content. Now we're going to suggest you go to the social media hub, or maybe the email marketing, or the LinkedIn. Or if you don't really want to do that, you can just click this and it'll take you straight to Canva, and you can design it on your own inside Canva. But we're doing the content waterfall, so let's go social media hub. All right, click a new chat to begin. And I'm going to say, I have this blog post. Please create 7 Instagram posts from this topic, and then we paste it in. Now, the reason I pasted in, so I'm getting a bit agitated there. The reason I pasted in is Sloan, the hubs within Sloan, they don't know what's going on in the other hubs. So I can't just go into the social media hub and say, hey, can you go and get that blog post that you just created in the other hub? I could have done that, but the reason it's not like that and we haven't done that is because it comes back to the assistants and the job descriptions. I wanted to basically put this kind of an imaginary brick wall around the job description so that when it's doing something, it is solely only doing social media strategy. It is not being influenced, or what I like to say, contaminated by the other hubs, because they're a different specialty. They have a different goal. So every time you're jumping between hubs, you have that little little space down the bottom that says copy response, and you just copy it and take it into the next one. And that's how we've been able to really isolate and make sure you're getting the best content that you can within each assistant. So now we have our 7 social media posts, and you can see already that the content is different. So we have a caption, we have some hashtags, and we've even got a suggested image, creativity unlocked. If you really wanted to, you could then drop that into your new Adobe Firefly if you like the image generation and see what it comes up with. I'll leave that to you. Okay, back on the content waterfall, we're then going to go to the next stage, and we're going to go to the email marketing hub. And same thing again, I have this blog post. Please create 7 emails in a funnel for this topic. And then we're going to get our 7 emails ready to go and drop into whatever email provider you use. So you can keep going and do LinkedIn if you guys do LinkedIn. But the point here is, if I was to take the demonstration out of this and just actually do it, I have a blog post, so I've targeted SEO. I have either 1 week or 2 weeks worth, depending how, if you want to do 7 days in a row. Keep in mind, I just picked 7 out of a hat. I could have done 14, I could have done 30. So we have blog post SEO, social media marketing, a full email funnel, literally done in a matter of maybe 2 minutes max. All you have to do now is drop it in. I'm not going to edit any of this because I know that it sounds like me. The only thing where it takes time is honestly choosing the topic that you want to go with. The other thing that not only have we just chosen one topic, we have 10 amazing topics that we can go for. So if you post, let's say you do 1 blog a month, you've got 10 months worth of material ready to go there. If you do 1 every 2 weeks, then obviously you've got 1 for 5. You've got 1 post ready for 5 months worth of content. So it's quality, but it's also speed. Okay, so now we have our 7 emails. Let me get out of the quick links. We have our 7 emails ready to go. You can see it's in the email hub. So we've lost all the hashtags. We've lost all the emojis. It's a bit more professional. We have our subject line, and there we go. So that's how the content waterfall works and how I suggest everyone uses it, regardless of whether you're using Sloan or whatnot. I really encourage you to start doing this. Start with a blog post and start doing that. Obviously, I'm biased, but if you do it within Sloan, your content's going to be better and it's going to be more on brand for you. Good point to pause because I just saw a question come in and I'm about to change topics anyway. So, can Sloan give you instructions on how to create the content into a post, email, reel in another app, Canva, LinkedIn, Flowdesk, if you don't know how to use them? Okay, so Beck, do you want to unmute yourself? When you say, can it give you instructions, do you mean on how to actually set up your email campaign within Flowdesk? Like a Yeah, for sure. And to be honest, I use it all the time. It will know. Keep in mind that it's the best of both worlds. So I like to think of it as the engine of ChatGPT and Gemini, with Sloan being your business brand and everything like that. So because it has that strong engine being ChatGPT, you can ask it and say, hey, let's take Facebook ads. I literally did this the other day. I've never done Facebook ads before. I don't know how to do them. Can you please walk me through let's just show you. Let's go social media hub. Okay. I have never created, come on, think brain. I've never created Facebook ads before, and I want to create some on this blog post topic. Can you walk me through step by step on how to do this? Here is my post. Now the cool thing with this, not only will it do it step by step, but it's going to take the specific parts from your blog post and put them into what you should do for your social media app. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what you are literally asking for the step by step. So go to the business manager then go to create account, fill in your business name. Is that what you meant? Kind of that step-by-step process?
Yeah, like how to do it for dummies.
Okay, perfect. Well, dummy over here. So this is how you do it. Then you go to access your ads manager, then you create your campaign, still walking through campaign settings. Okay, ad configuration. So it'll tell you define your audience, location, all that sort of stuff. And now we're going to create the ad. Oh, did I post it in the blog? Oh my God, I'm an idiot. I didn't post in the blog post. So
I get the idea though, like that's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so it would actually come here and go, here's your headline. Well, it knows my business, so it's already taking stuff basically on it. It's just not the specific topic because Dum Dum over here didn't post it in. But yes, so that's how you do it. Now, you can also do how-tos. So depending on what hub you're in, if you're wanting to know how to do something like that, or it might be how do I actually do a marketing campaign? So you go into the marketing hub and do that, and it'll teach you through it. Another question, Nina, do I then need to copy from Sloan into the EDM system or into Instagram? Yes, that is correct. So at the moment, it's a standalone platform. There's no integrations into those other platforms to post on your behalf. It's in the idea for development for sure. I would like to get there, but to isolate and stuff like that, for now I've just gone, okay, the main thing is quality of the content. So you create it and then go and post it into your scheduler that you already have, which I think is Spot.io. Yeah, so that's definitely how it would work. The other thing I wanted to show you, I mean, there's so many hubs in here for different use cases. We won't go through all of them. The last ones that have just been announced or created, the podcast producer hub for those who are doing podcasts, you can come in here and it'll help you with your script writing specifically for podcasts, how to, where's the one I'm looking for? Promotional ideas, so how to grow your podcast, how to get audience growth, stuff like that. Another one at the request of my wife was the productivity expert. So here you can come in, and if you're a little bit of a procrastination person, you can literally just come in here and say, hey, I'm procrastinating, help me, or plan my day. And within here, it'll say, okay, how much time have you got? What's your tasks? What do you need to fill? So the great thing with something like Sloan is we're humans. We're up and down all the time. The amount of times you're like, yes, I'm on fire today, and other times you're like, I can't even string a bloody sentence together. Having something like Sloan with your business language, you have that consistency. So you've got the consistency every single time of it playing, working for you in the background. So then basically all you're becoming is the orchestra conductor. Do this, now put it there. Do this, and now you're going to put it there. All that sort of stuff. You're not doing it alone. You've now got a silent, you've got the business partner that I feel like all those horror stories of business partners wanted, and it's the silent, shut up business partner that just helps you with everything. That's how I like to think of it. Speaking of business partner, or maybe a bit more business mentor, I really want to talk about the Ideation Hub. So the Ideation Hub was literally created for having that sparring partner, having someone who you can go, is that just someone I can call? I just want to bounce this idea. Yes, I can do it with my friends, but my friends don't really know my business. It's just not there. In the Ideation Hub, you can come in and it's where creativity and strategy mold to spark innovation. So what we did with the content waterfall, we had a really specific task, and we kind of knew, well, not kind of, we knew exactly what was going on. We were just getting Sloan to create it for us. In the Ideation Hub, this is where I'll go and I might go, okay, I'm actually going to give you a perfect demonstration in a minute. I would come in here and go, okay, I want to add something to my business. I want a high-end product. Maybe you want a real high-ticket item. You have no idea what that is, but you come in here and you start brainstorming. Maybe you want a set and forget on your homepage, $27, set up once, and now it's just an engine keeps going. Maybe you want to grow your email database, but God damn, I have no idea how to do that. You can come in here and do it. Perfect example, everything that you're watching right now, Sloane. So Sloane, I came into Sloane and said, hey, I want to do a AI Masterclass. I want to give lots of value to people. I don't want it to be just about Sloane. I want it to be about the whole AI landscape. And then we had the whole platform ready to go. So it's basically where you come and you start brainstorming. To give you an idea, you can come to the quick prompts. The other thing that we did, actually, I'm going to give you a very quick demo on our website. So this will be one of the last things I show you, and then we'll open up the floor to some questions. Think reels, think videos, think scripts, all that sort of stuff. What we did is we basically wanted a video to show off what Sloane does, to really kind of get engaging. So it's 40 seconds. I'm just going to show a little snippet of it. As it's playing, can you just give me a thumbs up if you can hear it? Because sometimes the noise gets a bit crazy, but I'm just going to play very quickly.
Hi, I'm Sloan, your go-to girl for making your business life easy. I'm here to handle everything from your emails and social media posts to creating new offerings, course creation and training, all meticulously tailored to your unique voice, brand and goals. What sets me apart is a special deep dive interview where I get to know your business inside and out. This way, everything I do is specifically designed for you. With my help, you'll complete tasks 70% faster, giving you more time for what truly matters. My sleek, easy-to-use interface makes both big and small tasks feel like...
Okay, so the reason I show you that is when we were going through and there it is. When we were going through and going, okay, how can we quickly show people about Sloane? We literally went in here, and it's probably even saved in here. Anyway, I won't spend too long trying to find it. We had a video of Sloane. And what it did is, it wasn't just the script that we had there, it was also the whole structure of the video. Show this, now show this, now show this. Along with that, it gave us the suggestions of, this is the message, but here's the kind of image that you'll pair it. So for instance, when it said to Sloane knows your unique brand voice, it actually said, show a bunch of different people from different cultures, because the image of that shows that people have different ways of speaking, and that's a real visual way of showing that. So it goes to that next level of, it's not just a script, but here are your image suggestions and everything like that. The last thing I want to quickly tell you is it also becomes part of your, I guess for want of a better term, your content filing system. So unlike ChatGPT, where everything is in the left-hand side and it's just every single chat, and I still use ChatGPT now, but that's only because I'm a developer. I use it for code. I'm not using Sloane for code. But even going through all of my code snippets in ChatGPT basically drives me nuts. What we can do here is, this is now just ideas within the ideation hub. Now, if I want my blog post, well, I'm just going to go to the blog posts. These files here have nothing to do with the ideation hub or the social media hub. So you're now being able to separate your ideas. And the really cool thing, which I'm super excited about at the end of this week, we're actually introducing folders as well. So up the top here, we're going to add something that says new folder. So we can literally we can have a whole topic of chats and drag them in there. Basically set up because my wife got shits with me doing all these demos and creating all these empty new chats. She's like, can't you just have a folder where you just put all your demos in and leave Sloane for us? So that was kind of made out of necessity. So yes, that's how it works. I feel like I've probably talked your ears off now, so I'd like to open up the floor with some questions. You can either drop it in the chat or just unmute yourself, come on and ask any questions. And while that comes on, I'm going to answer some of the questions from people online. We'll just make sure. So general info about AI, help me with social media marketing for a barbershop. Okay, so obviously it's the same thing there, Samantha. So for your barbershop, honestly, it's the content waterfall. do the same thing, email marketing, blog post, SEO. You could come into the ideation hub and create a new free offer to sit on your homepage, and that would help you grow your email database. And then you can do it like that. But I imagine you're the type of business, because people are paying all the time and coming in and getting confirmation emails, you can have a pretty big email database. So email marketing for you, I would imagine, is huge. Pair that with blog posts and social media. The great thing is everyone's going to be kind of doing the same sort of strategy. It's just which one is their main one that works for them. But because it's Sloan, it's all tailored in your voice, your language, everything like that. So that's that one. Does anyone online here have a question? Yep, go for it.
Yeah, I think it's just easier if I talk instead of write. So like I work for a dental manufacturer, you know, and there is like a lot of wording needs to be like basically headquarter gives it to us. So we in Australia have a subsidiary, and headquarter is back in Europe, and they're dealing with 150 countries, and I'm in charge of Australia. And I'm every time worried with those things, and I only do AI with posts, but very often it just changed the tonality totally. And it actually, you know, and that's just a little bit what I'm worried, because there are certain words and certain things which needs to stay the way.
Yeah, for sure. So what we do there is it just comes into your business model. So we train Sloan on how you actually speak, and then it's adding things, for instance, like that. When I'm training it, I literally add in things like that. So it's imperative that you use these specific words in this sort of a structure. And then once Sloan is trained, it's always doing the same sort of thing. So for instance, to flip it on the other side, my wife has a list of words that she does not like, and we've said to Sloan, never use these words. So it's doing everything but the opposite end of what you're talking about. It's a list of things that she doesn't like, and yours would be, this is how you do it. But we just take examples of how you've written and everything like that, and train it based on that. So every time it's doing stuff, it would be in that sort of brand language.
Okay, cool, thanks.
So for actually a good use case of that was, we actually, funnily enough, the majority of, like, if we were to cluster types of businesses on Sloan, there must have been one very influential chiropractor that said to all the other chiropractors, because I have a lot of chiropractors on here. We have a real range of businesses, but it just seems to be we have a real lot of chiropractors. But one thing that's really important for them is they're very much bound by the language and advice that they can give out in the social landscape. So we've had to make sure that we add in the guidelines and be very tight with the type of language, so that it's not seen as giving advice, it's just suggestions and stuff like that. So that might be one example of how that's actually could work in your kind of situation as well. It's like, these are the guidelines, follow it.
Yeah, thank you.
Pleasure. Alrighty. Could it design a client survey to use with Google Forms? 100%. So you literally just go into, you've got two options with that one. I would either go into client comms or ideation. I would imagine, well, it depends how creative you need it to get. If it's just kind of like a routine sort of form that you're wanting to create, then client comms. But if you're wanting to get like insights and stuff like that, I would probably go into the ideation hub to give it a trial, and sorry, not give it a trial, go into the ideation hub and say, you know, this is kind of the end product that I want, and these are the things I'm wanting to try and find. Create a survey for me and do it, and then you drop it into a Google form.
Okay, like I'm thinking like a feedback form on either the session or course that they've done.
Yep.
So like if you said you wanted to get insights into these particular aspects of the course or whatever, or the service, find out what the client's thoughts were on those things, it would put
100%.
something together.
100%.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
So to give you two examples of a similar thing like that, I used Sloan for the chatbot. So the chatbot, there are so many different, like if user answers this, then it goes off into these possible answers. There's lots of different branches. And I just said, I'm creating a chatbot so we can describe what people want on our website. Give me all the instances of possible answers, possible questions and possible answers. And then it just came in and diagrammed it into how it should be. So creating the chatbot literally took me 10 minutes. I've just been lazy getting to the point of actually doing it and implementing it. But it did that. Same thing. We used to be another name before we were Sloan when we first started, and I had an AI quiz when we first came out, and basically it was just find out if your business needs AI, and it came down with a whole bunch of quizzes and also the score and how it scored and everything like that. I had no idea what to create there. I was just like, I want a quiz. I want it to be interactive. Again, came into the ideation hub and just said, literally that. I want a quiz. I don't know what to put in. Create it for me. And then I just took those questions and answers and dropped it into a quiz platform. So I think in general, whether or not it's Sloan or AI, I often hear a question, can it do this? And my response is always try it. Just give it a go, because I'd say 9 times out of 10, it'll be able to do it. It's just whatever platform you're doing it, the quality of what it gives you, can it do it to that level? But there's no real, like, I'm assuming, everything's above board. There's no dodginess going on. But if it's just in terms of content, then yes, it would absolutely do it. I just saw another question pop up, but it disappeared. Is it Celso? Did it?
Yeah, I had my hand up.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Yeah. So my question there is, in the beginning when you were creating, you showed your screen with lots of Canva social media posts. So I was wondering whether when we get the prompt here in the output and we approve all the posts, whether we can edit it on the screen. If we don't like something, we can say, no, I don't like this one. And then if from there it pushes to Canva, or do I have to copy paste and then do another the actual creation in Canvas?
Yeah, good question. So yes, you can go back and forth and edit and just say, I like this one, I don't like this one. Once you have your final piece of data that you're like, yeah, I'm happy with that and I want to put it into Canva, then you click the copy response and then you have to go into Canva and drop it into Canva. So there's no links within here. It's a standalone platform that creates all your content, and then it's up to the business owner to go, okay, well, now I'm going to take that to my email, or I'm going to take that to my Canva, or something like that. There are plans in the future to have integrations like that, but at the moment I wanted to concentrate mainly on the quality of the content rather than everything it can do, because there are platforms out there that link things, but the quality of, like, you can get it to create social media posts, but I mean, I tried it before I built this and I was like, I would never post that because it doesn't sound like me. So it's cool, they've got the ability, but they don't have the quality. So for now, yeah, you copy it and you post it into that. So how you do those 50 Instagram reels, there'll be an email coming out tonight. It's super quick. You just basically take your Sloan responses, drop it into Google Sheets, and in Canva, you link it up and then you're ready to go.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Any more questions? Actually, one thing I will say, sorry, I'm just looking up, I've gone old school. I've printed off questions from people in the, who are online, very un-AI guy of me. Someone has asked, can our business model change once we're being signed up? So yes, that comes back to the human element. If I'm not even going to say if, when your business evolves, you might add new products, you might add new offerings, your language might evolve. I know in 3 months our language has evolved. I've updated my business model probably 5 times. Your business model isn't just set and forget, it's as it evolves. If you need to change something, you email us. It could be either, add this in over an email, or it might be, let's jump on another call, redo your business model because you've grown and expanded. So there is no limit on how many times your business model can be done. And on that, that's probably a Does anyone have any more questions before I lead into the final thing? If you are taking a new approach with your business and you want to use Sloan to start it from scratch, is there a, sorry, I might be misunderstanding. Is there a question with that
Hello,
one?
sorry, I was trying to type that really quick, but
That's all right.
so basically, like at the moment, I'm looking at sort of taking a whole new approach with my business. Can you go into Sloan without having too much of an idea? Like, can it help you generate a new way of doing business and a new direction to go?
100%. So that I would say take it as kind of like a two-edged sword, if you will. I don't even know if that's the right word. So to kind of backtrack a little bit, we have businesses, there's two types of businesses that sign up. One is they're very strong in their brand language and their offering and everything like that, and we just implement that, put it in, they're good to go. The other one is they've got a pretty good idea about their business. They may not even have a name yet. They might not have some language, but they sign up to Sloan with the general idea, and then they actually use Sloan to create their new business model. Once it's created, then come back to me or our team, and we take that new language or that new offering and the new name, and we redo your business model. So you can, the cool thing that I love about AI in general and specifically Sloan is you can use it to train it. So the amount of times that I've used Sloan, it's coming back with its language at the beginning when we first started. It came back with its language based on what we said. And I was like, I don't like that. So I used Sloan to redo its language. And then I took that and fed it back into Sloan. So it was this revolving door of teaching it. So I think does that answer your question?
Yeah, totally. That's amazing.
Perfect. Awesome. So on that, in terms of signing up to Sloan, if anyone actually wanted to give it a go, the cost for Sloan is $79 a month, and it's a subscription-based model with no lock-in contract. So if you sign up and you go, you know what, I don't use this very much, or it's not for me, you can drop out at any time. Or if it's for you, it's just on a revolving month contract. Sorry, not a contract, month-to-month subscription. And for anyone in here, I'm going to email you a little code. I'm going to offer 50% off for your first month to come and have a trial if you want to give it a go. You get full access to everything. You get the proper business deep dive. It's not, you know, a cheaper version or anything like that. So I'll email all of those details if anyone wants to take advantage of that. Apart from that, the only thing I want to say is thank you for allowing me to talk your heads off for 90 minutes. Let's actually call it 99 minutes. I hope that this really just demystified the AI landscape for you and just had a space where you were like, okay, cool, like maybe I want a chatbot, maybe I want some automation. And I really hope it just broke things down for you and your business. So if you feel like you want to continue any of the conversations, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. Email me, find me on Instagram. If you have my number, give me a call. If you want my number, ask for my number. It's all good. So apart from that, I'm going to wish you all a very beautiful, happy, hopefully sunny wherever you are, Friday lunchtime and into your weekend. Thank you for jumping online, and for those watching the replay, thank you for spending 90 minutes with us watching the replay, maybe at 1.5 speed faster, so it's a little bit faster. Alrighty, thank you so much guys, and enjoy your days. See you later.